So it's David All with techRepublican. We're here with Adam Radman and Erik Telford. Adam is with Americans for Tax Reform, and Erik is with Americans for Prosperity. But together, they're sort of helping the conservative nonprofits catch up online. Erik, why don't you sort of start and talk to us about what you're doing here?
Sure. Well, kind of our vision is that any one organization can have the best website or the best new media effort, but we're not going to succeed as a movement unless we all start working more effectively in general and certainly more effectively together. So this is a venue for all the groups to come together, talk about not only what they're working on, what we can partner on, but what lessons they've learned, what we can do to be more effective, kind of best practices, and help each other out in advancing all of us in the online sphere.
Great. And Adam Radman, what kind of people are showing up to these events mainly, and what are people talking about?
Oh, basically it's anybody in the center-right community in Washington, D.C. I mean, we've sent it out to all the communications directors, new media managers, and directors for center-right organizations. We have some bloggers and independent consultants attending as well, but it's mostly focused on the nonprofit sector in Washington, D.C., trying to get these center-right organizations to work together.
Great. And Erik, what do you do to reach out to people outside of Washington, D.C.? Obviously, there are a lot of think tanks and grassroots activists who are interested.
Certainly, in working with partners like the State Policy Network, we've tried to reach out to as many of those folks as possible. And a big part of my job is reaching out to bloggers and organizations outside the Beltway. I actually was just flying back today from a conference with the Freedman Foundation in Indianapolis, meeting with some groups out there that are doing some online efforts and social networking efforts related to school reform and school choice. So we're definitely trying to keep them in the loop. We've brought in a conference line so that they're still able to join even though they're not here. We at the first meeting last week, in fact, we held it at that time because we had a lot of bloggers and folks from the Sam Adams Alliance in town that aren't normally here, and we wanted to bring that outside the Beltway perspective. So we're certainly actively reaching out to those folks and trying to engage them and involve them.
Great. And Adam, I guess to conclude, you sort of brought up an interesting point today about buy-in. Obviously, a lot of people in this room were maybe mid-20s at best, some younger, some older. But can you sort of explain buy-in and the importance of that?
Well, I was just talking earlier about the higher-ups level, I guess the CEOs and presidents of organizations, and how they just need some mild success. You don't need a major success in order to get people to use new media like YouTube, Twitter, blogging. You just need to show them that it works and people are listening to your message in that venue. Like with Grover, we used him. We did a YouTube with him. We did a YouTube question with him for the YouTube debate in November of 2007. So he didn't even know what it was really, but we said, Grover, this is going to be seen by a lot of people. It's a lot of citizen participation. I think you should ask a question to the presidential candidates on the Republican side. So we asked the question. We got on YouTube. He was all excited about it, and so now he wants to just see how we can reach people in their different areas where they're interested. Twitter, blogging, YouTube, wherever we can reach them best is where he wants to go now.
Great. And Erik, to conclude, how do people get a hold of you if they're out there and they work for a conservative nonprofit?
Absolutely. My email address is etelford@at afphq.org or just erik@rightonline.com. Certainly if you go to our website, americansforprosperity.com, or if you go to the HER website, you can find our contact info. Shoot us an email, give us a call, or show up at the next one and talk to us. We don't want to be this. We don't want this to be a venue talking down to people or giving them orders. We want them to share their successes and their experiences and their lessons. So that's the most important part of this whole thing. So nobody should hesitate to contact us in any way that they can.
Great. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.